Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our NWS DS Revolution Impact Review. I am your play-by-play commentator, Joe Galli. And I am your color commentator, Dan Lambert. And today, me and Joe Galli are going to give you our NWS Revolution Impact Review. Please take it away, Joe. Thank you, Dan Lambert. Tonight's show was from the Jose Miguel Aguilar Coliseum. Hold on. Tonight's show was from the
Jose Miguel Aguilar Coliseum.
And in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And what a show it was. As a color commentators, of course, with me and Dan Abbott. So we then open the show and we break down the match card and we welcome the fans to the
Jose Miguel Aguilar Coliseum.
In San Juan, Puerto Rico. Go. And the first match was for the NWS Tag Team titles, as the current NWS Tag Team champions, Rob and Jacob McGoverns, defended their tag team titles against Creedence, Xavier Reed, and the Bloka in a tag team ladder match. Out came Creedence, Xavier Reed, and the Bloka, then the tag team champions, the McGoverns, as this match got underway. And this was a great back and forth classic ladder match as the McGoverns and Creedence, Xavier Reed, and the Bloka beat the holy hell out of each other with wrestling move after wrestling move, and they used weapons after weapons such as steel chairs, candlesticks, Singapore canes, and ladders. And Rob McGoverns gave Creedence, Xavier Reed, and the Bloka 16 suplexes and F5 as he went to climb the ladder. But then Creedence, Xavier Reed, out of nowhere, low-blowed Rob McGoverns and gave him the Creedence dive, and the Bloka dropped Rob McGoverns with the no laughing matter, as well as Jacob McGoverns, as Creedence, Xavier Reed dropped Jacob McGoverns with the Creedence dive, as both Creedence, Xavier Reed, and the Bloka climbed the ladder and came this close to capturing the NWS Tag Team Champions. But then Rob McGoverns and Jacob McGoverns knocked the ladder down, sending Creedence, Xavier Reed and the Bloka crashing to the outside, as they then went to the outside and just beat the holy hell out of Creedence, Xavier Reed, and the Bloka. And then Creedence, Xavier Reed, and the Bloka delivered a double powerbomb to both the McGoverns, and once again came this close to capture the NWS Tag Team Champions. But then, out of nowhere, Jacob McGoverns then pushed both Creedence, Xavier Reed, and the Bloka off the ladder as they went crashing to the mat and delivered a Southampton's plunge and a swanton bomb as he went to climb the ladder, and then I don't know what, the Bloka just got right back up and then he climbed the ladder as well as Creedence, Xavier Reed, and then Rob McGoverns then jumped off the top Sean Buckle and climbed the ladder as both tag teams were beating the holy hell out of each other on top of 2 ladders. That's right, 2 ladders. I mean, this was just a crazy match. They traded blows back and forth. And there were 6 times in the match where Creedence, Xavier, Wade, and the Bloka came very close to capturing the tag team titles. But in the end, McGoverns once again F5s both Creedence, Xavier, Wade, and the Bloka off the top of the ladders as Jacob McGoverns delivers a devastating Southampton's plunge and Swanton bomb off the top of the 2 ladders as Robin Jacob McGoverns then successfully climbed the ladders and captured the tag team titles winner and still NWS tag team champions, the McGoverns, via climbing the ladder and successfully grabbing the tag team titles as this match lasted 15 minutes and 17 seconds. 15 minutes and 17 seconds. Wow. What a crazy match this was. And in the end, Creedence, Xavier Wade, and the Bloka shook hands with the McGoverns, congratulating them as a sign of respect and putting on what a hell of a tag team title match. Who is going to stop the McGoverns? Who is going to be the next tag team to take the tag team championships off the McGoverns? I don't know, but the McGoverns have really brought a lot of prestige to the tag team titles. Anyway, what did you think about this match, Mr. Dan Lambert? Oh, Joe Galli, this was one hell of a tag team title ladder match. I mean, you gotta give credit and respect to both the current tag team champions, the McGoverns, and Creedence, Xavier Wade, and the Bloka for opening the show with what a hell of a tag team title ladder match. This is how you do a tag team title ladder match. Take lessons, WWE and AEW. Take lessons because NWS Revolution / Deadly Renegade Society, whatever it's called, the NWS knows how to put on a tag team title ladder match. And Scott Castagnoli, and in the office of NWS Revolution owner, chairman, CEO Scott Castagnoli, and head of law enforcement Commander Data, they talked about what a hell of a tag team title ladder match this was. And then the NWS head of talent relations, Michael Cole, goes to get an interview with the owner, chairman, and CEO Scott Castagnoli and asks him what he plans on doing, what him, Psycho Mercer and Vinny Joel plan on doing to the Blackpool Combat Club. Scott Castagnoli says him, Psycho Mercer and Vinny Joel are going to beat the holy hell out of them in the weapons of mass destruction and leave them in a pool of their own blood for what they did to them 2 weeks ago. And Psycho Mercer shows up and says he can't wait to get his hands on Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli. And if Barack Obama gets involved, he'll be more than happy to Psycho bomb him through a table. And then, in the locker room of the Deadly Renegades Society, Barack Obama, the NWS Board of Directors, President, Vice President Ethan Zobel, and Lincoln Potter, Barack Obama gives the Blackpool Combat Club a pep talk. It says they got to win this match. They got to use every dirty trick in the book. And the Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, and Claudio Castagnoli says they will do everything in their power to win no matter what. And then Ethan Zobel and Lincoln Potter say do what they do best and show the NWS Revolution what's all about. As the next match was the Fox versus the returning Bryan Fury. That's right. the Fox versus the returning Bryan
Bratwurst.
Bryan Fury, and this was a good match. As out came the Fox, and then out came Bryan Fury. As this match got underway, and both the Fox and Bryan Fury trade blows back and forth. The Fox waylays into Bryan Fury, and then Bryan Fury fights the Fox up, slams his Fury head out for turnbuckles, gives him chops him in the chest, locks him in the figure four leg lock. But the Fox refuses to submit as the Fox locks the Bryan Fury in a chokehold. But Bryan Fury refuses to submit. And then the Fox pounds away and claws Bryan Fury in the face and drops him with the Doomsday Device, goes to pin him, but Bryan Fury has his foot on the rope and starts firing up, and he fights the Fox up, beats the holy hell out of him, gives him a power bomb, a power slam, a scoop slam, an enziguri, a big boot, a double arm DDT, and a flying elbow off the top rope, and then Bryan Fury starts choking the Fox with the ring ropes, and they just trade blows, and then the Fox tosses Bryan Fury out of the ring and to ringside, goes on the top turnbuckle and delivers a flying elbow, a suicide dive to him, to Bryan Fury, out at ringside, and then all of a sudden the Fox gets angry and he low blows Bryan Fury and slams him face first on the steel steps, hits him on the head with the steel steps, busting wide open. And then Bryan Fury gets angry, and Bryan Fury grabs a steel chair, hits the Fox on the head with it, busting him wide open. And the referee is telling him to get in the ring, and then Bryan Fury then attacks the referee, and then all of a sudden, Bryan Fury then gets a nightstick and whacks the Fox in the face with it. I mean, this is just getting crazy, and the referee has no other choice but to throw this match out. So this match ends in a no contest, and the Fox and Bryan Fury are just beating the holy hell out of each other. And other referees in the NWS Revolution staff has to separate them because they just can't stop beating the holy hell out of each other. NWS Revolution owner, chairman, CEO Scott Castagnoli and head of law enforcement Commander Data come out and say there will be, and say, all right, enough is enough. Scott Castagnoli gets on the mic and says he will schedule a rematch at Revolution Extreme, which is going to be at the next NWS Revolution pay-per-view, entitled NWS Revolution Extreme, which will be Sunday, May 28th. That's right. Revolution Extreme will be Sunday, May 28th. And he says that he will book. So Scott Castagnoli books the Fox and Bryan Fury in a no-holds-barred Falls Count Anywhere match at Revolution Extreme, and says there must be a winner. So we will see. So at Revolution Extreme, it will be Bryan Fury versus the Fox and a no-holds-barred Falls Count Anywhere match. So that should be a hell of a match. And what is the Fox going to say in his next promo? And what is Bryan Fury going to say in his next promo? Wow, this is just crazy. And then the next match was 2023 Money in the Bank winner Michael Scott and newest member of the Deadly Renegade Society, Michael ScarsBomb versus Tony Jr. II. So out came Michael ScarsBomb being accompanied by 45th President Barack Obama to tremendous boos from the Puerto Rico crowd, and then out came Tony Jr. II. Take it away, Mr. Joe Galli. Thank you, Dan Lambert. And I gotta say, wow, what chaos we just seen between the Fox and Bryan Fury. There was no contest. The rematch will happen at Revolution Extreme. It'll, as you said, it'll be a no holds barred, Falls Count Anywhere match between Bryan Fury and the Fox. Wow. Who's going to win that match and what is going to happen? Wow, this is just, I don't know, who can control these two men? The next match was Michael ScarsBomb versus Tony Jr. II. As this match got underway, Michael ScarsBomb and Tony Jr. II wrestled back and forth as Tony Jr. II then speared down Michael ScarsBomb and beat the hell out of him. Delivered a body slammed him, gave him a missile drop kick and a spinning heel kick and an X-Pac and choke slammed him as he went to pin Michael ScarsBomb. But Michael ScarsBomb had his foot on the rope and fought off Tony Jr. II as Michael ScarsBomb slapped him and punched him and delivered a headbutt, and Michael ScarsBomb gave him an atomic leg drop and locked him in the minor lock, but Tony Jr. II refused to submit and reached the ropes. Tony Jr. II then locked Michael ScarsBomb in a Kimura lock, but Michael ScarsBomb refuses to submit, and so Tony Jr. II, Michael ScarsBomb fight back and forth, and then Barack Obama then gets involved and slaps Tony Jr. II. And then Tony Jr. II gets angry and chases Barack Obama around the ring, grabs Barack Obama by the lapels on the suit jacket, is about to hit him, but Michael ScarsBomb, out of nowhere, low blows Tony Jr. II and tosses him in the ring and starts to beat the holy hell out of him, gives him another flying headbutt and an uppercut, and Michael ScarsBomb is just showing a vicious side as he's beating the holy hell out of Tony Jr. II. And then Tony Jr. II fights up Michael ScarsBomb and delivers a big boot and a devastating choke slam to Michael ScarsBomb, goes to pin him, but then Barack Obama once again gets involved in the match and puts Minor's foot on the rope. And then Barack Obama then maces. Then Barack Obama then low distracts the referee, allowing Michael ScarsBomb to get a steel chair and hit Tony Jr. II on the head with it. And then Michael ScarsBomb hides the steel chair as he goes to pin him, but somehow, someway, Tony Jr. II gets a shoulder up and delivers another choke slam to Michael ScarsBomb and comes very close to winning him until Barack Obama pulls the referee out. And then Tony Jr. II once again gives chase to Barack Obama and is about to beat the hell out of him in the ring. But then out of nowhere, Michael ScarsBomb big boots Tony Jr. II and delivers a ScarsBomb and pins him 1, 2, 3. Winner of the match, Michael ScarsBomb via pinfall with ScarsBomb, as this match lasted 15 minutes and 10 seconds. This was a good match, but Barack Obama kept getting involved. If it wasn't for Barack Obama and his interference, I believe that Tony Jr. II would have won the match. But that damn Barack Obama always got to interfere in any match the Deadly Renegade Society participate in. And then it is announced that Cody Mercer will return to the NWS Revolution, and the general manager Cody Mercer will return to the NWS Revolution sometime this month. Because as right now, Cody Mercer is taking some time off, so it's gonna be a while before Cody Mercer makes a video and before we see him back in the NWS Revolution. But sometime this month, Cody Mercer will be back to doing what he does best at booking matches. But in the meantime, Scott Casey, the NWS Revolution owner, chairman, CEO Scott Casey Gale, and the head of NWS Law Enforcement Data will be running things. And then it's match number 4. The weapons of mass destruction as the match, which is ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joel versus the Blackpool Combat Club, which consists of Bryan Danielson, John Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli, with 44th President Barack Obama in their corner. So out comes ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joel to tremendous cheers from the Puerto Rico crowd, and then out comes the Blackpool Combat Club to tremendous boos from the Puerto Rico crowd. As me and Dan Lambert explain the rules of this match. As this match gets underway, take it away, Dan Lambert, good buddy. Thank you, Joe Galli. This match was crazy. As this match got underway, as our six tag team beat the holy hell out of each other. ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joe, aka the American Mercenaries, we stopped beating the holy hell out of the Blackpool Combat Club with wrestling move after wrestling move, submission after submission. As ScottyBadBones, Spinebusters, all 3 members of the Blackpool Combat Club, and then locks our freedom and the sharpshooter, Psycho Mercer, that beats the holy hell out of the Blackpool Combat Club, and then Vinny Joe then just goes ballistic on the Blackpool Combat Club as he hits him with his finisher, and then Vinny Joe then delivers a curb stomp to Bryan Danielson, John Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli. Goes to pin him, but then Barack Obama gets involved and breaks up the pinfall as Vinny Joe chases Barack Obama at ringside. And then Vinny Joe is about to attack Barack Obama, but Barack Obama low blows him and tosses him back in the ring, allowing John Moxley to drop Vinny Joe with the paradigm shift as he goes to pin him, but then Psycho Mercer and ScottyBadBones break up the pinfall. ScottyBadBones then punches ScottyBadBones, but then hits Bryan Danielson, John Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli for DDT, and he delivers the frog splash to all 3 members of the Blackpool Combat Club. RKOs them as Psycho Mercer Psycho Bombs them and Psycho Stunners them. and Psycho busts him and then ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joe go to pin our three members of the Blackpool Combat Club. And Barack Obama again gets involved in the match, breaks up the pinfall, grabs a steel chair, and whacks ScottyBadBones in the face with it, whacks Psycho Mercer in the face with it, and whacks Vinny Joe in the face of it, allowing the Blackpool Combat Club to take advantage as they go to pin him, but somehow, some way ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joe get a shoulder up, and then they bring in the weapons as ScottyBadBones gets all fired up and starts beating Bryan Danielson with a candlestick and Singapore cane. Psycho Mercer gets all fired up and starts beating John Moxley with a barbed wire steel chair, hits John Moxley right in the face with the barbed wire steel chair and busts John Moxley open. Vinny Joe then gets a champagne bottle and just breaks it over. Vinny Joe then gets a guitar and breaks it over the head of Claudio Castagnoli and busts him wide open. And then Psycho Mercer and Psycho bombs. And then Vinny Joe then dumps thumbtacks all over the ring and curb stomps Claudio Castagnoli right at the thumbtacks. And then Vinny Joe curb stomps both John Moxley and Bryan Danielson on the thumbtacks as they're writhing in pain. And then ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joe get the steel chair and just start beating down all three members of the Blackpool Combat Club. Just beating them nonstop. Scott Casey-Gale gets a barbed wire baseball bat and it busts open John Moxley even more, and then whacks Bryan Danielson with the barbed wire baseball bat as Bryan Danielson is bleeding profusely. Blood is dripping all over the ring. And then ScottyBadBones gets a glass table and puts all three members of the Blackpool Combat Club on the glass table and delivers a devastating frog splash. Goes to pin him, but then somehow, someway, all three members of the Blackpool Combat Club have their foot on the rope. And then this match gets even more crazy as ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joe and all three members of the Blackpool Combat Club are fighting outside at ringside. And more weapons. They get more weapons as Bryan Danielson picks up the steel steps and hits ScottyBadBones on the head with it, and then Bryan Danielson locks ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joe in the bell lock, and then John Moxley delivers the Dirty Deeds, Paradigm Shift, and Death Rider to both ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joe out on the concrete floor at ringside. Oh, this match is getting crazy. And then Bryan Danielson then hits ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Psycho Mercer and Vinny Joe with weapons after weapons, and then Bryan Danielson then gets an electric guitar, and tosses two electric guitars to John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli, and they break the guitar over the heads of ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joel, and then Bryan Danielson gets the screwdriver, and Bryan Danielson then stabs ScottyBadBones in the forehead with the screwdriver and stabs Psycho Mercer and Vinny Joel the screwdriver, making them bleed even more. Then Claudio Castagnoli delivers a Cesaro spin to ScottyBadBones and to Psycho Mercer and to Vinny Joel as they go to pin him at ringside, but somehow, someway, ScottyBadBones, both Psycho Mercer and Vinny Joel kick out as they're just beating the holy hell out of each other. ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joel fire up as they get a metal pipe and just whack all three members of the Blackpool Combat Club, and then out of nowhere, Barack Obama then whacks. Then Barack Obama then gets a and then Barack Obama then gets a wrench and whacks ScottyBadBones in the face with it, and whacks Psycho Mercer and whacks Vinny Joel in the face of it. And then the Blackpool Comic Club decided to take advantage of that, but go to pin him, but somehow, someway, ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joel getting showed up, and they start fighting back in the ring. I mean, our 6 tag teams are just bleeding profusely and continue to hit each other with wrestling move after wrestling move, submission after submission, and they then they even get a lad, and then the Blackpool Combat Club whack ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joel for ladder and steel chairs and metal pipes, barbed wire baseball bats. I mean, this is just getting crazy. And then the Blackpool Combat Club, Triple Tombstone, takes ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joel, and Triple Tombstone pile drive them off the top of the ladder and into a stack of and then through a glass table as they go to pin him, but somehow, someway, ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joel had their foot on the rope. Oh, this match is getting crazy. And Barack Obama then once again gets involved in the match as he just low blows ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joel, and clothesline from Hell's them. Oh, and then the Blackpool Combat Club tried to take advantage of that, but nope. Somehow, someway, ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joel get all fired up. So ScottyBadBones RKOs Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli. Psycho Mercer, Psycho Stutters, Psycho Bombs, and Psycho Busters. Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli. And Vinny Joel curb stomps all 3 members of the Blackpool Combat Club as then they set up a table. And they dump thumbtacks all over the table, set it on fire, and then ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joel climb the ladder and triple powerbomb all 3 members of the Blackpool Combat Club through the flaming table, go to pin him, winner of the match. ScottyBadBones, Psycho Mercer, and Vinny Joel via pinfall with triple powerbomb through a flaming table as this match lasted 20 minutes and 25 seconds. Wow, what a crazy weapons of mass destruction match. Wow. And then ScottyBadBones gets on the mic and tells Barack Obama he will see him in the ring at Revolution Extreme at the end of this month. Wow. This was just crazy. See, and then it's the co-main event as Johnny Da Vinci. As it was NWS Universal Champion Johnny Da Vinci versus the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. So then out comes Cody Rhodes to tremendous cheers from the Puerto Rico crowd, and then out comes the NWS Universal Champion Johnny Da Vinci to tremendous cheers from the Puerto Rico crowd as they shake hands, and this match gets underway as Johnny Da Vinci and Cody Rhodes wrestle back and forth with move after move and submission after submission. Johnny Da Vinci then hit the DDTs. Cody Rhodes gives him a double arm DDT, an atomic drop, a missile drop kick, and a mission Oko drop. And then Cody Rhodes fights Johnny Da Vinci off and gives him several punches and kicks. And then Cody Rhodes and Johnny Da Vinci continue to have a good back and forth wrestling match as Cody Rhodes fights Johnny Da Vinci off and gives Johnny Da Vinci a fouling inverted DDT, a falling star, a springboard bionic elbow, a springboard roundhouse kick, a straight jacket DDT, and then delivers an Alabama slam, a beautiful disaster kick, a bulldog, a drop kick, a knee drop, an inverted suplex slam, a moonsault, a muscle buster, a running crossbody, Russian leg sweep, and locks him in a sleeper hold, but Johnny Da Vinci does not submit, and then delivers a snap power step and a Cody cutter and a gale lock. Goes to pin Johnny Da Vinci, but Johnny Da Vinci kicks out at 2.5. Cody Rhodes then delivers a Diamond Dust and Dark Matter and Queen's Crossbow. Goes to pin Johnny Da Vinci, but somehow, someway, Johnny Da Vinci gets a shoulder up as he delivers another Diamond Dust, Shades of Stardust, but it's not enough to keep Johnny Da Vinci down. Cody Rhodes then delivers a Tiger Driver to Johnny Da Vinci and a dense fire and a silver spoon. But it's not, but nothing can keep Johnny Da Vinci down as Cody Rhodes locks Johnny Da Vinci in the figure for a leg lock, but Johnny Da Vinci does not submit. Cody Rhodes then delivers a crossroads to Johnny Da Vinci, goes to pin him, but somehow, some way, Johnny Da Vinci gets a shoulder up. Wow. Cody Rhodes doesn't know what to do. So Cody Rhodes and Johnny Da Vinci continue to wrestle back and forth, and then Johnny Da Vinci delivers a power slam to Cody Rhodes. And then Johnny Da Vinci then hits Cody Rhodes with an arm twist rope walk chop and a diving overhead chop, a diving clothesline, and in the end, Johnny Da Vinci drops Cody Rhodes with the death sentence and pins him 1-2-3, winner and still NWS Universal Champion Johnny Da Vinci. Via pinfall with death sentences. This match lasted 16 minutes. Wow, 16 minutes. And then Cody Rhodes shakes Johnny Da Vinci's hand and embraces him as a sign of respect. Now that's how you put on a good wrestling match. And as Johnny Da Vinci is about to lead the ring, Paul Heyman out of nowhere where shows up and attacks Johnny Da Vinci from behind and low blows him and grabs the Universal title and whacks Johnny Da Vinci in the face with it very hard, busted him wide open. That's right, Paul Heyman is back in the NWS Revolution. So Johnny Da Vinci is about to beat the hell out of Paul Heyman, and then out of nowhere, Roman Reigns comes out and Superman punches Johnny Da Vinci and spears him. And then the Deadly Renegades Society come out, and Barack Obama gets on the mic and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the newest members of the Deadly Renegade Society, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, and the Special Counsel Paul Heyman." Paul Heyman gets on the mic and says, "It feels good to be back again, and he is so proud to be the newest member of the Deadly Renegade Society." So then Paul Heyman gets on the mic and tells Johnny Da Vinci meet his next opponent, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns then says at Revolution Extreme he is going to beat Johnny Da Vinci and take his title, as Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns go to the back with the Deadly Renegade Society. Wow. Paul Heyman, after being gone for 3 months, is back, and he's the newest member of the Deadly Renegade Society, along with his client, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. I'm not surprised. So then, Johnny Da Vinci, and then Vinny Joel and Tony Jr. II then help Johnny Da Vinci to the back as he's getting checked on, and he's getting stitches because Paul Heyman whacked him very hard in the head with his Universal title. Vinny Joe then asks Johnny Da Vinci if he's okay. He says he'll be fine. As Vinny Joe says, okay. Vinny Joe and Tony Jr. II then go to the locker room, but then they look like they see a ghost. But what do they see? And as Johnny Da Vinci is being checked on, out of nowhere, Don Callis returns and is checking on Johnny Da Vinci. And then Don Callis asks Johnny Da Vinci if he's okay, and he says yes, but why? And then so Johnny Da Vinci asks Don Callis why he's here. Don Callis says he's known Johnny Da Vinci ever since he was a baby. He's known him for 44 years. I mean, Don Callis says Johnny Da Vinci knows very well that he was in the hospital when Johnny Da Vinci was born, and because Don Callis says he was really close friends with Johnny Da Vinci's parents, and Johnny Da Vinci is like family from him. He knows at the end, he knows that him and Johnny Da Vinci were feuding last year and early this year, but Don Callis says he wants to bury the hatchet with Johnny Da Vinci and let bygones be bygones and call it truth. So Johnny Da Vinci thinks about it for a second and shakes his hand and decides to call it truth. Johnny Da Vinci asks Don Callis if he's joining the Deadly Renegade Society. Don Callis says he has no intention of joining the Deadly Renegade Society. He is here to redeem himself, and then Johnny Da Vinci offers, and then Don Callis offers Johnny Da Vinci his managerial services as he gives him his manager card, and Johnny Da Vinci takes and thinks about it a second, and Don Callis says he wants to be Johnny Da Vinci's manager, and he's gonna prove himself to him, but before he accepts him, they need to talk in private. So Johnny Da Vinci and Don Callis go to talk in private and decide to have a conversation. So let me get this straight. Don Callis, not only did we see the return of Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, and they're the newest members of the Deadly Renegade Society, but we see the return of Don Callis, who has been gone from this company, he's been gone from Revolution Impact for 3 months, and it's been going on this channel for 4 months. Why does Don Callis want to manage Johnny Da Vinci? And can Johnny Da Vinci trust Don Callis? Hell, I still don't trust Don Callis. I know Cody Mercer still doesn't trust Don Callis. And I know ScottyBadBones doesn't trust Don Callis. But what's going on? And we understand we're supposed to hear from Don Callis this week. But what is his relationship with Johnny Da Vinci? And Don Callis has known Johnny Da Vinci ever since he was a baby? What's going on there? Hopefully we hear from Don Callis. And Vinny Joe, and it turns it was Don Callis who Vinny Joe saw, and from what I've been told, Vinny Joe is not happy to see Don Callis. Vinny Joe is very pissed off with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, and Vinny Joe then challenges Roman Reigns to a one-on-one wrestling match next week on Revolution Impact. And he says he's going to beat Roman Reigns with an inch of his life. And if Paul Heyman gets involved, Vinny Joe will beat the holy hell out of Paul Heyman as well. So Michael Cole goes ask what is Don Callis doing back and why does he want to manage Johnny Da Vinci? Vinny Joe says he doesn't know, but he's not happy that Don Callis is back, and he doesn't trust Don Callis one bit, and he thinks that Don Callis is only going to use Johnny Da Vinci. So hopefully we get more details. And goes, yeah, and then Vinny Joe says yes. Don Callis has known Johnny Da Vinci ever since he has been a child since the 70s. So for 43 years. Yeah, so for 44 years, Don Callis has known Johnny Da Vinci and his family. And then, so what's going on there? Hopefully we will hear from Johnny Da Vinci and Don Callis. And now it is the main event. And the main event was NWS World Heavyweight Champion General Jerry versus Brock Lesnar. So this was the main. This was the main event. As out came Brock Lesnar first, and then out came the NWS World Heavyweight Champion, being General Jerry. Tremendous cheers from the Puerto Rico crowd as this match got underway. General Jerry then waste no time. Beating the hell. Take it away, Joe Galli. Take it away. Thank you, Dan Lambert. The main event gets underway. It's General Jerry versus WWE's Brock Lesnar for the NWS World Heavyweight title. And General Jerry then just waylays into Brock Lesnar and beats the holy hell out of him and gives him several punches. And then General Jerry then hits Brock Lesnar with a face breaker and then a face buster and a shooting star leg drop and a somersault leg drop. And then General Jerry hits Brock Lesnar with a 630 senton and a corkscrew 630 senton, and then a diving spear and a diving splash. And then Brock Lesnar out of nowhere fights off General Jerry and delivers 17 suplexes to General Jerry. And then Brock Lesnar then hits General Jerry with a pendulum backbreaker, a back wheel trip, a double powerbomb, a fallaway slam, a fireman's carry sit-out power slam, a Fujiwara armbar, a gorilla press slam, and multiple suplex variations. and multiple turnbuckle thrusts, a power slam, a rear naked choke, a running corner shoulder block, a running power bomb, a running shoulder breaker, a standing double leg takedown, and then Brock Lesnar locks General Jerry in the Kimura lock, but General Jerry refuses to submit. And he locks General Jerry in the Brock lock, but General Jerry refuses to submit as Brock Lesnar hits him with a blockbuster press, and then F5s. General Jerry goes to pin him, but General Jerry kicks out at 2.5. Brock Lesnar delivers 2 more F5s to General Jerry, but General Jerry gets his shoulder up and fights Brock Lesnar up and hits him for another face breaker and another face buster. And General Jerry delivers a 450 splash to Brock Lesnar and an imploding 450 splash. And then General Jerry hits a falling fast press and a shooting star press to Brock Lesnar and gives him the diving leg lariat, the flying spinning heel kick, the flying thrust kick, and a missile drop kick. Brock Lesnar then is about to F5 General Jerry, but General Jerry blocks it and gives Brock Lesnar an F5 of his own, and it hits him for Diamond Dust, diving Hurricane Rana, a Frankensteiner, a reverse Frankensteiner, and then a sunset flip, and then General Jerry drops Brock Lesnar with the Anna Bomb and pins him 1, 2, 3, winner and still NWS winner and still NWS World Heavyweight Champion General Jerry via pinfall with Anna Bomb as this match lasted 18 minutes and 15 seconds. Wow, what a main event! What a main event! Wow, who is gonna be General Jerry's next opponent for Revolution Extreme? And when are we going to hear from General Jerry? We have not heard from General Jerry ever since he's won the World Heavyweight title. And we understand General Jerry is a very, very busy man. But the fans want General Jerry to cut a promo on this channel. But who's going to be General Jerry's next opponent? I don't know. Because General Jerry gets on the mic and says he loves being here in the NWS Revolution, defending his title week after week. And then General Jerry issues an open challenge to face anyone for his NWS World Heavyweight title at Revolution Extreme. All they need to do is make a video response. But who's going to answer the challenge? Who's going to answer General Jerry's open challenge for his World Heavyweight title? Wow. This is just amazing. Anyway, Joe Galli, would rate Revolution Impact 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, way up, a solid 10 out of 10, and an A triple plus. And we also expect to hear from the NWS Universal Champion Johnny Da Vinci and Don Callis. What exactly is Johnny Da Vinci's relationship with Don Callis? And can Johnny Da Vinci trust Don Callis? We also understand we're supposed to hear from Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns on this channel. And Paul Heyman is going to explain why he and Roman Reigns joined the Deadly Renegade Society and why they attacked Johnny Da Vinci. Wow. So this is going to be kind of a... So wow. We're going to hear from Johnny Da Vinci and we're going to hear from Paul Heyman. We're going to hear from the newest members of the Deadly Renegade Society, Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns, and we're also going to hear from the NWS Universal Champion Johnny Da Vinci, and he's got a lot to say about Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, and he can't. And from what I've been told, Johnny Da Vinci has accepted Roman Reigns' challenge to face him for the Universal title at Revolution Extreme. What is Johnny Da Vinci going to say in this next promo? And is he going to explain the relationship of him and Don Callis? I don't know, so much to talk about. Take it away, Dan Lambert. Yes, I gotta say that was one hell of a main event between General Jerry and Brock Lesnar for the World Heavyweight title. Yeah, and you heard it. General Jerry has issued an open challenge for Revolution Extreme for anyone to face him for his World Heavyweight title. Who is going to accept General Jerry's open challenge? Like you said, Joe Gotti, we are going to be hearing from the two newest members of the Deadly Renegade Society, Paul Heyman and the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, and we're also supposed to hear from Johnny Da Vinci, and we're going to be hearing from Don Callis this as well. Wow, so much interesting developments happening here on this channel. But like you asked Joe Gotti, like I asked earlier, what is the relationship between Don Callis and Johnny Da Vinci? Don Callis has known Johnny Da Vinci since 1979. So that's 44 years. And Don Callis did say Johnny Da Vinci is like family to him, because from what I've been told, Don Callis is the godfather of Johnny Da Vinci. And he's known Johnny Da Vinci longer than Vinny Joe and Tony Jr. II have known Johnny Da Vinci. So I'm looking forward to hearing from Don Callis. Anyway, next week, NWS Head of Talent Relations Michael Cole will do the Revolution Impact reveal. You all have a good night, and we'll see you next week for Revolution Impact. This is Dan Lambert and Joe Gotti signing off.